This is the Montana Outdoor Podcast, brought to you in part by Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer in Missoula, home of Boss Snowplows, CM Truck Beds, and Diamond Sea Trailers. Just go to rmtte.com for more information. And by Superior Hardwoods of Montana, home of the largest selection of in-stock high-end wood products and flooring in the western United States. Let them guide you through the woods at superior-hardwoods.com. Now, get ready for more fascinating topics and the most interesting people you will ever find in Montana's great outdoors. We offer new podcasts most every Saturday. You can get a link to these podcasts by going to our website, montanooutdoor.com, or by going to our Facebook page, or just send an email to downrigger@montanooutdoor.com and say send a link to my email. It's that simple. Now let's head out with your host, Downrigger Dale, and see what's going on in Montana's great outdoors.
Thank you very much, Manny. And as Manny just said, I am Downrigger Dale with the Montana Outdoor Podcast. And I thought we'd do something a little different for this podcast. By the way, thanks for all of you for continuing to support this podcast. And you keep sharing it. You keep getting other folks on. We just love the way we just keep growing. And here we are, smack dab in the brand new year, 2025. So I thought, well, let's do a little bit of our own kind of housekeeping and talk a bit about our website, which has grown just unbelievable. In fact, wait till you hear some of these numbers. But we did some changes to it. And so a lot of you, and I mean a lot of you, use that website. So I thought, well, let's go through that and talk about, what's different, what's coming up, all that. And so our webmaster, Hook'em Harry, is going to be on with us in a second. Oh, by the way, also just wanted to welcome our active military out there. As always, we are honored to have you, even though you're out protecting our country and other countries around the world. When you get a little time off, you share that time with us, and we are honored that you do it. Thank you for your service. So let's bring on Hook'em Harry here and talk about this. Hook'em, how's it going? You have been, I guess, since the start of the holidays, you've kind of been like Santa Claus in the workshop there, changing everything.
Yeah, my back's a little sore. My fingers are sore. I have to walk around. I've been on my computer nonstop.
Yeah, that's a big website. And I'm not sure if people really realize how big this website has become. And as a result, it was time to maybe make a few changes, make it a little more user-friendly. So let's talk about where it was and then get into where it's going now.
Yeah, so we had the previous website up for a number of years, and the website in general has been around for probably 15 years, and I could be wrong on that, but I bet you it's around 15 years and maybe 20. And so the captain came to me and said that we need to get this on, the latest, newest thing, because they were discontinuing it, which was the old PHP version. Mm-hmm. And so I went in there, and the first thing I did is I looked at the database, and we had posts in there from 2008 to very old posts. And,
wow! So those are all still up there somewhere, huh?
Yeah. So what I did is I deleted anything that was over, I think 5 years old. And the number that I deleted was like 80,000 posts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I had to migrate that over and just kind of build our new website. The captain, was kind of like, get it up and we'll make changes later, which is the opposite of what I usually like to do when it comes to this type of stuff. But we got it up, and I launched it in the middle of the night, and so far so good.
Yeah, and the look of it is different as well. Explain how it looks different and what people are going to see. Some of you already probably have seen it, but what people see and what's the difference between what it looked like then and now?
Yeah, so we looked at all the metrics, before I started building this site, and we realized that only about 3% of the people that visit the site are on a computer.
Wow.
So
really?
yeah, yep. And it's, to this day, it might even be 8%. Like it's pretty astonishing when you're building a website. There's no point in building it for a computer. You have to build it for a mobile device.
So most everybody that was on there was looking at it from their cell phone, which I guess makes sense. I mean, these are outdoor folks, so they're on the move. They're out doing what they're doing, heading to their favorite hunting grounds or fishing hole or that. So I guess that does make sense that it would be mostly, I guess we just think in traditional thoughts of, well, people sit down in front of their desktop, but not anymore, do they?
No, in fact, last year we had about 1.5 million people on the website, and 1.4 and some change million were on a mobile device. So
you have got to be kidding me. That many. Wow. Yep. That is bigger than the population of our state by quite a bit. So yeah, obviously this is folks from all around the world then.
Yeah, we had some content go kind of viral, some Yellowstone Park posts, some, other big fish posts and stuff like that. You just never know when something's going to go viral. So yeah, definitely some people from out of state.
Wow, that's impressive. I mean, do you have anything to compare to as far as what would be a big site for a website in Montana? What that normally would be?
I feel like we're definitely one of the top sites when it comes to that kind of traffic in the state. I mean,
that's what I was thinking. Is I'll bet you typically it'd be way less than that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
So yeah, looking at the design of it, so step one was to just start with mobile. So the way it renders on a mobile device is its own separate, pretty much template system, and we're just trying to continuously make it as easy as possible to navigate on a mobile device, as easy to look at posts. We partnered up with different services that some people might have, like the Newsbreak app on their phone. We're automatically publishing to that. And then, it's definitely mobile first. And that kind of leads us into, I guess, the next task, which I've been working on hard. And that is the mobile app.
Okay. So we're actually going to have an app, not just a www.montanooutdoor.com. We're talking a whole app. Wow, that's interesting. Well, I want to take a quick break here, Harry. When we come back, I want you to talk a bit about that app and how that differs from the typical website and what the advantage is going to be to our listeners. So we'll do that right after we learn a little bit more about something that a lot of you are going to be doing, which is, when you sit around in the wintertime, you look at your house and you go, man, we should remodel this place. And you know what? The folks there at Superior Hardwoods, well, listen to this. Even though they may look like one of those, by appointment only places or just for contractors, no, Superior Hardwoods of Montana is always open to everybody. So make it your New Year's resolution to visit their showroom in person. You can find them at 5120 Highway 93 South in Missoula, Montana. Or if you can't get to Missoula, you can visit them online at superior-hardwoods.com. So whether in person or online, stop in and find out what makes them the best source for wood products that you'll ever find anywhere. And I mean anywhere. Like custom mantles, reclaimed beams, lumber, and one-of-a-kind paneling products. They have the best selection of domestic and exotic lumber, turning stock, figured craft wood, and natural edge slabs. A selection so vast, it completely blew me away the first time I saw it. I don't know of anywhere where you'll find such a huge selection of an incredibly unique wood. Now, sorry I got off topic there for a minute, but it still amazes me when I think about what they have there. Now, back to remodeling projects I was talking about. They have you covered from beautiful, versatile alder molding, maple countertops, and an impressive selection of hardwood flooring in stock. Now, don't forget about redoing your home office, or how about likely the most used room in the home, the kitchen. You want to make your kitchen be the most unique kitchen in the world? Superior Hardwoods of Montana is the place. Now, for those of you that have already done business with Superior Hardwoods of Montana, thanks for your business, and we hope to see you again here in 2025. Now, if you're still thinking about what you want to do with your house, no worries, take your time. Just remember, John, Corey, and the rest of the crew are here for you if you need some ideas, or if you want them to find you something special, though chances are they already have it in their massive selection of the most unique woods in the world. They really are your best source for anything and everything wood. So, as I said, stop in person at 5120 Highway 93 South in Missoula, or online at superior-hardwoods.com, and let them guide you through the woods. Okay, back here on the Montana Outdoor Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us here. We've got Hook'em Harry. He's our webmaster for MontanaOutdoor.com. Website's been around for a long time, and it's been kind of the same. So it was geared more for the desktop, though almost everybody was on mobile. So you've made it much more mobile friendly. Now, you mentioned before the break, it's actually going to have its own app. Talk about that, and what's the difference between just a website and an app?
Well, the captain insisted on an app, and him and I went back and forth on why do we need an app. He has his view of why we need an app. I have my view. His view is he wants to easily just hit it on his phone, like a little icon, and not type it into the browser. And then I look at it like, it's got to have some value to it that makes me want to download this app. Mm-hmm. And I think what I've come up with is based on something that I didn't mention previously, but part of what we're doing is we are looking at what people are looking at, and we are noticing trends of the content that people want to see. And the primary content, at least at this time of the year, and I believe all year long, is our fishing reports and our audio reports, mm-hmm. and our just our current local things like your podcast and all that kind of stuff. So the most popular is the reports. So we have reports, but we need to organize those a little bit better and present those to you and get more reports and get more valuable content. And the app is a really, really organized, clean way to see the most current reports. It's pretty much a native version of the website. So you can also look at all the news, all the latest articles. We got our tournament tracker. You can look at upcoming tournaments, past tournaments. And then we have a listen tab where you can listen to the podcast, listen to fishing reports, listen live to the radio show, listen to last week's show. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And we are looking forward to getting people's feedback. And anybody who wants to give feedback, just send it to our contact us link on our website.
Yeah. And that way you can take a look at what kind of feedback we're getting and what things, people say, wow, I really like that, or boy, that was a little confusing. And so we'll kind of keep evolving. And of course, that way all of our regular viewers have a hand in, helping make this work perfect for them. But the app does make some sense, because if you look at it now, like the FWP has gone to their own app. And at first people were like, yeah, what do we need that for? And now they've found that to be incredibly useful, because you can store all your fishing licenses on there. You can, have all that boom ready to go. And the cool thing there with theirs is you don't have to be online. It can store them offline. So if you're out of cell service or whatever, they can get. So more and more people are starting to get that. I had the professor that he created that Fishes of Montana app. And I was talking to him, and that has become more and more popular for identifying fish. You catch something, you go, wait a minute, what the hell is that? And you can look that up and just type in what it kind of looks like, and it'll start pulling up pictures and showing you, okay, you just caught that. Can't legally keep that, so watch out for that. All this cool stuff. So it's all kind of going that way.
Yeah, it is all going that way. And it's, I think going back to what I feel like is the most valuable thing on the website, which is what the numbers say, and that is the report. So how can we get more reports? How can we tap into, eventually I would like to have the ability for anybody that has a report to give us a report and have it published.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. And I think that's my primary objective is to just get as many reports as possible, because that's what people want to see.
Have you looked at like the one that I've been hearing advertised quite a bit is the FishBrain app that is kind of like that, where people are given reports and then it'll kind of base it on your location of what's near you, or you can just type in, I'm looking for rainbow trout, for example, or whatever, and it'll show you where people have been catching them. From what I've heard, they're not getting as much participation with that. I don't know if it's just not as user friendly or what. Are you saying to be kind of like that maybe down the road, where people could share the info?
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is you got that app that, like you said, if there's no adoption, there's no information. You also have the Onyx Fish app that has launched in Minnesota and Wisconsin. That's going to be coming soon to Montana.
Oh, okay.
So you got this competitive, this competition for, the fishing app. And do I see us being a competitor to those style of fishing apps? No, I don't. That's a big app. That's a big thing to build, and I'm kind of a one-man show when it comes to building this stuff. But what I do see is more of I wouldn't say a forum style, but just the ability, not targeted to this specific fishing hole, but like, hey, the ice is 7 inches thick on Canyon Ferry. Just like kind of like a Facebook group, but another platform where people can share that information and kind of be our field reporters and field experts.
Yeah, but still tie into our app and all that. So that's really cool, because then it becomes much more relatable to what everybody's been using. You think about how much this, website has grown, and all those millions of people out there that kind of have that same mindset and go to a lot of the same places. To me, that makes a little more sense than trying to be this all things to all people, which I think some of these fish apps have kind of bit off more than they can chew, as far as how do you keep track of every lake in Minnesota and Montana and on and on and on, where this just kind of fits what our listeners do. So that's going to be exciting to see. When do you think that might launch, the new app?
So I'm looking to launch the new app definitely by the end of this month, end of January.
Wow, that's soon. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting pushed pretty hard from the captain, so I'm supposed to give him something to look at this Saturday. Yeah.
I've never known the captain to be impatient. That's surprising.
Yeah, that's the only way I've known him.
I'm joking, obviously, folks. You guys I've had the captain on the podcast here many a time, so I think people know what I'm saying there. He likes to get it done and get it done right now. So I don't envy your task there. That's a lot of pressure on you.
It is. What's interesting, Downrigger, is back when the website was first launched with and Mark Hinkle was the guy that built it. Our most popular section was the outdoor chat.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
which was essentially just like a forum.
Sure.
Where it was kind of like what we're talking about, but it just in 1998 or 2001, 2002 version of it. And so it's like, how do we bring something like that back the right way. And, there's things out there like AI that we're using to, if someone goes on there and a spam person and puts a bunch of stuff that's inappropriate, we can automatically detect that and stuff. And,
Oh, okay. Yeah. People that are just trying to sell stuff or, I know some of these environmental groups that really have a horrible misunderstanding of what hunting and fishing is. And sometimes they'll try to dominate a site to, get it to where no one can even interact. And so that would make sense to kind of move those folks along when they're just trying to be more of an annoyance factor than contributing. So that's a good idea. One of the things I was wanting to do, and I've gotten some feedback from people on this podcast to say, hey, could we do some interactive things more with the podcast? So that's kind of like what you're talking about here. For example, a hot issue has been hunter access. And, how do we keep the landowner involved to want to just allow the general public instead of saying, oh, I'm going to make some money on this. My ranch is only available for a handful of people with a ton of money. And that's really been bothering a lot of people. So how can we work all this together? And I think the general public, the average hunter out there and person that wants more fishing access out there, I think they got some good ideas if they get heard. So I think this is a good way to maybe do some town hall kind of things.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, keeping it appropriate and mediating it and, but letting people, speak their voice and give their reports and all that. Yeah, I'm excited for it. We're still figuring it out, and I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. I envision more of kind of like field reporters.
Yeah.
Where we kind of onboard someone that gives consistently good reports. And we don't really know how that's going to work yet. And honestly, I'm still convincing the captain, but I think I'll get him. And I think we'll introduce that at some point into our web, just more reports. That's the bottom line, is just more reports.
Sure. And those reports are always incredibly useful. So one way to kind of help Harry out here is to give your input and just say, hey, I was listening to this podcast and my idea is this or that. So you just go to MontanaOutdoor.com for now and just click on contact us and then just say what you want to say.
Yep, that goes right to me and the captain.
Okay, so then that way we get lots more input and then all of you out there listening can help. Now, for the, like with this podcast, we have a tremendous number of people that are listening, all around the world. For example, I always mention at the top of the show our active veterans. And one of the big reasons that they listen to this podcast is, Montana's per capita one of the states that has the most active military of any state out there. And so they listen because they like to hear a little bit of home and what's going on there. So for someone outside of here, but is still really interested in what's going on in Montana's outdoors, would that app work internationally out where they're out around the world, or how would that work? Or would it be better that they stick on the website?
No, that app will work anywhere in the world. And it'll just obviously be focused on Montana, but yeah, it'll work anywhere.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to take one more quick break and then we'll, I won't keep you too long because I know you're real busy. So we'll, wrap it up here after we go over a couple other things. So we'll do that right after we talk about plowing some snow out there. I don't know if you guys have looked at Boss snowplows, but wow, they've got them right there at Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer. And if I were you, I would take a look at that right away. Here's a little more information about these Boss snowplows. Pretty amazing piece of gear. Yeah, my friends at Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer are proud to be the authorized dealers for the top truck, trailer, and snowplow brands in the world, like CM Truck Beds, Diamond C Trailers, and of course, like I said, Boss snowplows. As I've been saying, last winter we got off a little easier, but this year it's going to be a lot different. Now, why am I saying that? Well, did you hear the podcast I did with Matt Rosencrans from the National Weather Service Climate Prediction Center? He said Montana and other areas in the Northwest are in for a lot more snow. Of course, that means driveways, parking lots, roads, and all that are going to need to be plowed, and plowed a whole lot more for the rest of this winter. And of course, that means you'll want a Boss snowplow to get the job done quickly and perfectly every time it snows. And that, my friends, can only mean one other thing. You need to talk to Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer right now about a Boss snowplow for your truck, tractor, ATV, UTV, while they can still get the one you need. Then you'll be prepared for what's coming, because not only will you have the best snowplow that is perfectly designed for what you want to put it on, but the folks at Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer will install it for you so it works the first time and every time. Now's the time, my friends, to be ready for what is going to be coming our way a lot with the best. A Boss snowplow from Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer. If you're in the area, you can stop by at 5680 Expressway in Missoula, Montana, or you can go see them at rmtte.com. Take a look at all the Boss snowplows they have right now, as well as other equipment like CM truck beds and Diamond C trailers that will also make your life so much easier this winter. Yeah, there is no better place to get you through this winter than Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer. Again, website rmtte.com. Easy to remember and a great way to take a look at what they have. That's rmtte.com. I'm telling you, folks, they know what they're doing, and they're going to be your best friend this winter. Go see them. And we're back here on the Montana Outdoor Podcast. Hook 'em Harry, our webmasters, talking about the brand new MontanaOutdoor.com website. A lot of changes, more user-friendly for your mobile phone and that, and we're learning about possible new app and things like that. Talk a little bit more about these numbers. You know, at the beginning of the podcast, we mentioned it a little bit, but so again, about how many viewers on a regular basis does the website currently have, and will these changes kind of help allow more people to be able to participate?
Yeah, so last year we had 1.5 million. So you're looking at approximately,
That's amazing.
110,000 users a month.
Wow.
In terms of, we launched the new website last month, and we've noticed that we're getting more page views. They're looking at more pages than they were on the old website.
Mhm.
And I looked at last year compared to last year, December compared to this December, and we're up. we're up about 100% when it comes to month over month.
Holy smokes. Wow, that's incredible. Now, as far as being able to access key, parts of information, you've changed the menu and that a little bit up at the top of the page, and let's talk in terms of what the mobile version looks like, because that's what everybody uses. So if somebody wants to say, okay, I just want to know about where they're catching fish or, things like that, what do they look for to find a particular subject?
So, yeah, you just click the little menu icon in the top right, and then you have, if you're looking for fishing, you'd look at, there's Montana Fishing. You click that, and that'll give you everything. So it's kind of on a per category basis.
Okay.
And, that's part of the challenge of, we have the audio reports over there on SoundCloud. We have your podcast. We have stuff that happens on the radio show, and it's kind of, it's like putting 10 pounds of, what in a 5-pound bag. And
yeah.
So we're trying to figure out the best way to do that. So yeah, any feedback that anyone has about things that maybe they don't like on the new site, or they have an idea for it, we're all ears.
Mm-hmm. So far, what I've seen on the new site is, to me, it is more user-friendly to just access exactly what you want right away. But the other thing I noticed is you kind of have it set up almost like a newspaper look. So if you just want to browse, it also seems to have it more in categories just scrolling down. Am I right about that? That's what it feels like.
Yep. On a computer, it's definitely more like that. On a phone, which you can imagine, a phone is a much smaller area. So we do have the categories in there. But it's more of kind of that, like, scrolling through and seeing the most recent content, almost like you'd see on a social media app.
Yeah. Something that we're all used to.
Yep.
So would the new app, would it still have the same look we're talking about, or would it even be, does that give you more freedom to lay it out differently for mobile? Or would it be pretty identical to what we have?
It's I'll send you some screenshots, but it's definitely, so it's what they call a native app. So it's like any, we're using the same technology that like Instagram and Facebook use for their apps. It's called React Native, and so it just looks really, really good, and it looks like, when you can tell when something's an app compared to a website, the way it like feels in your hand. That's how this is, and I'm very excited to roll it out, and I think people are really going to like it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So you're thinking later on in January that might happen, and we'll have you back as we go along and kind of get updates and all that. But just for a quick review, for those of you that want to give input, just click on Contact Us. Where do they find the Contact Us button?
In that menu on the top right. Okay. On a computer or a phone, it's 3 bars horizontally. Click that, and then Contact Us is on the bottom. Okay,
and just for review, what kind of things are you looking for? What kind of information would you like to see from folks that would help you as far as input goes?
I guess what I'm looking for is just what they're looking for, and the any feedback, that good or bad, or any ideas you have, like what would make our website more valuable to you, and it could be making it easier to navigate. It could be, I used to be able to find this, now I can't find it. Okay. We didn't think anyone looked at it, so we didn't put it on the nav bar, but now they can't find it. Just any feedback you have. I mean, we're all ears, and we take those, any feedback very seriously. So.
And finally, one thing I'm really excited about is for this podcast is the possibility of taking it video. And I've had quite a few requests from people saying, you talk about this certain fishing lure, or you talk about these instructions and that. Boy, why wouldn't you have more video? In fact, we are on YouTube, but it's just, a static picture. There's nothing, no video running. And I've had a few people that love to listen to things and watch things on YouTube, and they said, why don't you include video? How close do you think we are to getting that to where all of our listeners out there will start to be able to see my beautiful face, and then we can start adding, actual video and stuff to this?
Well, I feel like the captain was kind of hibernating for the past couple of years, and he had for some reason he came out of his cave, and now he wants to do all these cool things. So, and I got a little more time on my hands, and he's making it more worth my while. So I'm excited. I don't want to overpromise anything, but I could tell you that we're going to try a few things, and we're definitely kind of kicking it into next year. And I guess we're going to see what comes out of it with the small team that we have. We have Angela Montana, who is our digital managing editor. She publishes pretty much 60-70% of the content. We got Moose Track Megan, and then Montana Grant. And so I think that the more content that we can incorporate into the site, whether that's in video, audio, any form, obviously podcasts are big now, video podcasts. It's, I'm excited. I don't have all the answers, but I know that there's a lot of cool things that we can do, and I'm excited to try them.
Yeah. So, be looking for that, folks. And hopefully soon down the road, we'll actually be doing video. And of course, then you will be able to see that I do have a face made for radio. But anyway, you'll be able to see that, which is exciting. And then also, when you're on MontanaOutdoor.com, if you just click on the podcast link, when you go to that podcast, you'll see that podcast description I always talk about. And then in there's, links to different things that I talk about with my guests. But right at the top of that description is a text. It says text us. And you can click on that. And that's fairly new that we already have going, where you click that and it will automatically text me. Now, I don't get to see your phone number, so you don't have to worry about, I know how some of these political sites get a hold of your phone number and then it's, oh my God, I get way more stuff. This is really cool on that. It's just you're in total control of it. So you click it and be able to say whatever you want to say, since so many people love using text. That text comes straight to my phone. But again, I don't see your phone number. I can't share that, nor would I. So give that a try too, folks. It's just another way to keep us in the loop of what you're looking for. So down the road, that might be some more interesting things that maybe this app will be able to do, is do some notifications if people want it.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So then down the road, say, okay, I'm really interested in Northeast Montana or Southwest Montana. So I want notifications of what's going on from that area. So, maybe down the road, we'll be able to do some of that too.
Yeah. And, the other thing to just think about is if anybody wants to advertise on the website at all, we've started doing some stuff with ice fishing tournaments. We're getting some good traction on that.
Mm-hmm.
But we have some pretty affordable ad packages if anybody wants to, advertise on the site. Just again, you can use that contact us link and just tell us what you want to promote and we'll call you right away.
Yeah. And I'm really glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't realize just how huge this site is. So if you've got something, maybe it's an outdoor book that you've written that you want to get across, or maybe you've started your own tackle business or whatever it is. Let us know, because boy, we can give you access to a whole bunch of viewers. So that could be really cool. So hopefully folks will want to do that. Now, if they want to advertise, would they just go to the contact us button to get a hold of you about that too, Harry?
Yep. That's the quickest direct line. And, just leave us, your phone number and email, and we'll call you right away. And we're excited to see how many clicks we're getting on stuff and the kind of reaction, if it's relevant to the audience. I mean, that's pretty amazing. We're getting way above industry average on clicks for banner ads. And it's actually kind of mind blowing when I look at these numbers, and it's like, we sent 150 people to this person's website today. It's like, it's a lot of people.
That's a ton of people. And what I love about this is, for the small business owner out there in Montana, or maybe you're a business owner outside of Montana, but it relates to our audience. Just remember, it's MontanaOutdoor.com. So that's who your audience is people that are genuinely interested in that topic. But yeah, for the small business owner, it's priced to where they can actually get access that normally would just be way too expensive in a lot of these other huge sites like this one.
Yep.
All right. Well, Hook 'em Harry, I want to thank you so much for your time and everything that you're doing. And I can't wait to hear what folks have to say as we go forward on this beautiful new website and the upcoming app. Anything else you want to say before we skip along here?
Nope. I'd say thanks for having me on, Downrigger, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. There he goes. Hook 'em Harry from MontanaOutdoor.com, soon to be an app and all that. And we'll keep you posted as we add new things to the website and get that new app going too. Hey, thanks again to Hook 'em Harry for being here with us today. Hope you'll be sure and give us some input. Harry would love to hear from you and give us some input about the new website, MontanaOutdoor.com. And stick around to hear about when we become a video podcast, which should be happening before too long as well. So a lot of exciting things going on here for 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Be good to each other. Be safe out there. And we'll see you next time here on the Montana Outdoor Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Montana Outdoor Podcast. It has been brought to you in part by Superior Hardwoods of Montana, home of the largest selection of in-stock high-end wood products and flooring in the western United States. Let them guide you through the woods at superior-hardwoods.com. And by Rocky Mountain Truck and Trailer in Missoula, home of Boss Snowplows, CM Truck Beds, and Diamond Sea Trailers. Just go to rmtte.com for more information. So what did you think of today's podcast? Send your questions and comments to Downrigger at montanooutdoor.com. We should be dropping a new podcast this next Saturday. Until then, we will see you soon out in Montana's great outdoors.